I'm not sure what I do here. Once again, we have an under the gun limper. So you just never know if that's a big hand. Right here, I'm just positioning the payout structure. Um, I may have shoved that hand. I may have moved all in there if Alkaline Trip hadn't moved all in there. Alkaline Trip has to have a strong hand there. If he's moving all in with the shooter yet to act after him, the shooter has enough chips to basically take him out of this tournament. So it's not like he's just shoving on a bunch of short stackers that can only possibly take, 25% or less of the stack. This hand right here, I'm definitely putting it in. I know the shooter did make a 3x raise under the gun. And actually, I do remember this hand. Um, when the shooter made it 3x here, he had gotten around to me. This wasn't the only table that I was playing at the time. And when I called here, I don't think I really realized that Alkaline Trip had moved all in here. Because if I had, I may have considered folding. I don't know if I would have been able to get away from pocket queens. Maybe. But, for Alkaline Trip to make this huge raise against, the other big stack at the table, that he has to have, a pretty solid. And I think he has like pocket kings or maybe aces or something. I think it's aces, I think. Or maybe ace king and he flopped an ace. I don't know. I think I hit a set here and I get pretty lucky. Yeah, I hit pocket aces. And of course, the other guy flops two pair. The aces ends up being the worst hand, which who hasn't seen that happen a million times? Playing online poker, get all in with a 3 or 4 way pot with pocket aces and end up being, third or fourth best. Happens all the time. But, for the most part, I think I played pretty solid in this tournament. Yeah, and I do remember this guy was calling me a donk. I don't exactly think that's a donk play. It did have pocket queens, and I didn't exactly have, a lot of chips. That's what you're doing in these tournaments. You're looking to get your money in, with premium hands. Pocket queens are, premium hands. Sometimes normally I would just shove here, but with the big stack right here, didn't want to risk it. You know, if he only had like 50,000 chips, I would definitely just shove there. I'm starting to remember some of this stuff. I do think that maybe Alkaline Trip does sort of go on tilt here in this tournament. I think either that or he was getting a lot of good cards. As you can see, we're up to $74, which isn't uh, which isn't too bad, for the $3 tournament. I normally don't play $3 tournaments, but I think I got up the other day and fired up a bunch of $5, $10 multi-table tournaments and some sit goes, and I've always enjoyed the knockout tournaments and even the turbo tournaments. They've always been favorites of mine. Yeah, I don't spend a lot of time on them. I try to get something going, early on. And the players play so bad in these knockout tournaments. It's like they will make a lot of some of the dumbest calls. Trying to win that knockout money. I mean, this is a $3 tournament, and I think you get like 50 cents for knocking out a player. You're gonna risk your whole tournament life, you know, trying to win 50 cents. I'm pretty sure I probably just fold here because mainly because this guy here, he's so short. I know he's probably gonna call with just a huge range. I only got 7 high or 8 high, and plus I just stole it last time. I don't want to open myself up to the shooter making a huge re-raise. Okay, we're up to fourth place. $99. $99. Not too bad considering it's a $3 tournament. I definitely remember this hand. This is a little confusing. This guy was playing so aggressive, and then we played this hand where he basically, I'm not really wanting to put another dime in the spot, mainly because he limped in. I don't know if he's, slow playing a strong hand, which, real super aggressive players, that's one of their tendencies is when they pick up aces or kings, is they'll slow play it. It just kind of goes against their grain. They're playing aggressive, all the time, and then all of a sudden they limp in and they're being all passive. It has to make you suspicious. And that's what he did that time, and he ended up not really having anything. So, I pick up a pot there, basically just with nothing, check it down. I had bought a pair of threes. Seven, six, four-handed. I'm not folding. I'm really, this guy's, when I was playing this, I just had the feeling this guy was a complete maniac. He's just ready to get this tournament over, and he just seemed like he would just call with anything. So I didn't really want to get any pots with him. I'm second in chips right now. Um, don't really want to get into a big hand without having a big hand. As you can see, he's definitely playing the money bubble pretty good here. He knows that we don't want to go out before, you know, this player here. I think the shooter is probably just posturing. I don't think he's going to call. I think he's probably just getting a little frustrated with the alkaline trip. But that's see this was another spot. With the ace four suited, turned out to be a good fold. But normally, if I'd have had somebody a little more passive, in the big blind, I probably would have shoved there, without a doubt. At this point, I just know alkaline trip is just he's just playing like a complete maniac. Obviously not calling here with the 10-9. And the shooter is showing me his ace queen. sure why players show